All right, all right. I want to make sure that I'm coming in clear here. All right, we have a beautiful lesson. As we always say, had a pen and pads handy, brothers and sisters, and we gonna lock in. If you can hear me clear, go ahead and give that thumbs up. Also to our brothers and sisters on YouTube. All right, all right. So, all right, let's get this going. All right. I'm out of town at the moment, but brothers and sisters, as we always say, look, we're gonna get through this thing together and we're gonna keep the work going. Stubborn. Hey, judge within yourself. And when we say these things, right, what side of the coin is one on? When we talk about being stubborn, right, and I believe we mentioned this last week, stubbornness is not of itself inherently wrong, right? Words have meaning, words have power. But the times that we are in now is a time of intentional self-examination, being specific, right? When it comes to actually what? Self-identifying. See, a lot of times we're used to the world dictating through certain achievements, right? Certain accomplishments, right? We'll say, okay, but who are you when when the doors are closed, right? Who are you? You see, when you lay down and sleep at night, who are you? Who are we when we look in the mirror, brothers and sisters? See, this is very important because where we're going, you see, what we are truly being transformed into in this hour, brothers and sisters, this key understanding in wisdom shall be what the scriptures call stability of the times, right? It says that what? Let's get that up for me. All right, we're gonna open up in prayer. And if you can, all right, if you can, we're gonna get that. And I pray that everybody's doing well. I pray that everybody's locked in because uh we all understand this spirit of stubbornness, whether we want to examine ourselves or not. All right. Whether we want to self-examine while we open up in breath, can you get for me? All right, we're gonna go to uh Isaiah 33 in the 6th verse. All right. Around the 6th verse, yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna hold that there for a moment. All right. Hold that there. All right. All right. Get just for edification purpose, can you go back to get the regular version for this moment? We're going to go into the apocrypha. Just get the standard and go to the same one. Thank you. All praise. All right. So we're going to open up, brothers and sisters, as we always say in breath, chiefly reminding ourselves where our breath coming from. Okay. Chiefly reminding ourselves where our breath coming from, because brothers and sisters, this is the connection to source, the head of all existence, the most high. Okay. One moment here. We're back. We're back here. One moment here. One moment. Stay locked in. Coming back here. All right, yeah, we back. All right, here we go. All right, let's get this. Let's get this going here. All right. Remember that breath of life is the chief cornerstone in regards to what? Our connection with the head of all existence. All right. And as we are breathing, consider who you are. As you take a deep breath in, brothers and sisters, consider who and whose you are. Who do we belong to? All right. So we're going to take a deep breath in, fully inhale, brothers and sisters. Till you, it's almost like you can't inhale anymore. And then you're going to fully exhale until you need a second breath. All right. Let's go ahead and fully inhale. Giving all glory and honor to the head of all existence, the one true living power, the power of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob. May our light shine so that those that see us glorify our Father which is in heaven. We take no credit, brothers and sisters. But may the Most High, the head of all existence, take all credit for our existence, brothers and sisters. The thing that we take, uh, you know, take advantage of, and we don't consider on a daily basis, brothers and sisters, is the wisdom, the tools needed, or a tool needed, brothers and sisters, when it comes to what? Breaking away from this spirit, right, of bondage. And when we talk about stubbornness, we must also understand or talk about which side of the fence you're on, right? And we're going to go into that because whatever we are or however we look at life is what we reflect. See, the blame game was never uh, 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 a true reputation that one can have. We are not able to blame. This is why the scriptures say 70 times 7 when it comes to forgiveness, because no one is able to blame anyone. See? Now, it doesn't mean that, consequences from our actions are still not valid. But what it does mean is we are not able to accuse, brothers and sisters, because this realm is set up in what you would call reflection. Or this realm that we live in is actually a mirror. So whatever we don't like in someone else is actually who we are. See? And to not see that in you, this is why, the Most High has us going through trials and tribulations so that we can humble ourselves and understand that, oh, even that negative thing I don't like in that brother or sister, that's still me, what? Disconnected from source. Are you following? Whatever you don't like in another person, it's still you, or you wouldn't be able to identify it. See? If you've never taken calculus, you don't know how to do that. See? We only are able to get and give what we are. You're only able to see and understand what you know. See? So that's how that goes, brothers and sisters. When you understand that analogy, how can one teach or get something that they've never, had understanding in? See? So a lot of people are living this life, living this realm, operating in false images of themselves and operating in the guessing game. Hey, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. The Lord is calling us now to be intentional, right? We should be able to definitively say why we are doing what we're doing and stand on that stubbornly, whatever it is. That's why Christ said, I would rather you hot or cold, lukewarm, I'll spit you out. We are all stubborn to some degree, brothers and sisters. Which side of the fence are you on? And this is why this lesson title says, what would you choose you? Hmm? Let's get it. All right. This is Isaiah 33:6, right? Scroll down a little bit, please. Up, I'm sorry. Salaki, thank you. It says, we're going to start at around the fifth verse. Okay. The Lord, the head of all existence, is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. Say, he hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness. This is the key here, brothers and sisters. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So this is very key, brothers and sisters, because when it says that the fear of the Lord is his treasure, once again, the Most High looks at his children and his creation as his treasure. So when it says that the fear of the Lord is his treasure, that's a reputation. That are those that take on that honor and that respect to the Most High. See? So these are they. This is us who say what? We don't just fear the Most High. We walk in that reverence. And the Father looks at us as his treasure. He's like, look, see that sister, see that brother there? They actually walk it how they talk it. That's my treasure. That's one who's proven through adversity, right? To hold the mantle that I give them. See, everybody want the attention. Everybody wants the power, but don't want the trial and the tribulation that it goes through to gain it. See that? Everybody want to talk about what another person is doing, right? But can you talk about you? Would you choose you? And let's get it. All right. See, this we gonna cook today. We gonna pump the brakes on all the talking. See? And it's all about walking. And matter of fact, we gonna go a little deeper. Whenever somebody try to tell you something, this the new word, this the new phrase we gotta give them. Oh, I appreciate that. Have you gone through that? See? We need credibility now. Have you gone through it and overcame what it is that you've gone through? See, everybody have advice until you ask them what their vice is. Everybody want to add to, see, this is why you can't take advice because people be adding to your vices. The things you're trying to heal from, we just around here just listening to people. And it's like, yo, brother, sister, how are you proving in that? See, and I appreciate you, right, for sharing this, but how are you because me listening to you, you may just be adding, right, to my vice. Things that I'm praying and walking in for the Father to, strip from me in my stubbornness that's against him. We are all stubborn. But if you're gonna be stubborn with the Most High in standing with him. See? When we say stubborn with being stubborn with standing with the Father. See? I don't need nobody in this hour look, we all of us are unpacking, undoing. We don't need nobody adding to our vice. All right? So we don't need advice. We need understanding. We need wisdom because that's what the stability of the times is calling for. See? something greater than, one's own, you know, mindset or outlook on life. See, because we are also in a time that brothers and sisters are going to be moving with what you call itching ears. I only want to hear something that's relatable to my advantage, right? I only want to hear things that support what I'm standing on. See, and this is why we say, what is the Most High standing on? What is the? Can you, before you talk about what you're standing on, can you tell me what the Father stands on? Hmm? Because we were created in the image and the likeness of Him. What does the Father stand on? See? How can we give honor and respect to other brothers and sisters when we don't have honor and respect to the source? See how that goes? See why brothers and sisters can't move in honor? See why brothers and sisters can't move in respect? Because the truth of it is we don't respect our Creator. See? We look at our own selves as creation, as the Creator, right? As the God, the all to be all. See? And what we don't learn through wisdom, life experiences shall teach us. All right. And the prayer and the hope is that we endure and we learn from those life experiences. Because some brothers and sisters are not even here to tell, you know, how to overcome. Because a judgment came with their experience. All right. Let's move on here. All right. Can you please give for me? All right, one moment here. One moment here. All right. Can you please pull up for me James 1. James 1. And we're gonna go to, let's start around 19. All right. See, this is a time for us to put away, brothers and sisters, all forms of anger, all forms of hatred, brothers and sisters, because any anger or any hatred that we feel, it's actually how we look at ourselves. Are you following me? Any anger or any hatred that we feel outside of ourselves is actually how we look at ourselves. See? It says, this is James 1, starting at the 19th verse. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to what? Hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the head of all existence." See, a lot of us are not just angry. Most of us have moved and grown into a greater form. See, a greater form of anger, which means that the fullness of anger is wrath. See, anger, once again, of itself is not inherently wrong. There are things that you should be disappointed. There are things that should be used as a boundary. Anger should be used as a boundary, brothers and sisters. Right? But when unforgiveness is added unto the anger, this is how wrath comes. When you put anger and unforgiveness together, the equation, the spiritual mathematics of that is wrath. Write it down. So when a person is wrathful, okay, they're not only angry, they're unforgiving. Right? So so check it out. Once again, we talking about self-examining here. If we are in states of unforgiveness, brothers and sisters, and anger, whether one has acted upon it yet, the concoction or the recipe, right? That's being dished out is wrath. So it's basically a matter of time. That's why the Father will come and say, listen, hold on, please stop. You operating with this wrath, you need to be slow to speak, quick to listen, and understand what is being said in this hour. Don't talk about what you don't understand with it. Stop. Whatever the Lord allowed to bring upon you is to show forth what is actually inside of us. See? So it says, for wrath of a man working not the righteousness of the Most High. You cannot be wrathful and serve the Most High. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness. And the reason that is, the scriptures is mentioning these are the effects of wrath. Okay? When we operate in wrath, James is then going to say, wherefore lay apart all filthiness. It's not saying that this is what you was doing before you wrath. Or this, he has to mention this is because this is attached to your wrath. So what's attached to wrath? Lay apart all filthiness, superfluity, naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is to able to save your souls. Brothers and sisters, he that has an ear, let him hear. In this hour, that is what's being mentioned, the engrafted word. It has to, in a sense, be etched or engraved into one's soul because of, as this lesson said, stubbornness on the wrong side of the Most High. And how we are able, remember, we only can give or get what we are. You only can understand and know what you've learned and been taught of self, within self. This is why it says, continue, check it out. Verse 22, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. See? Deceiving your own selves. So most people don't have the fruit to back up what it is that they're speaking on. So if you say, if a brother or sister say, I've forgiven this sister, I've forgiven this brother, the wisdom in that is, well, when you say these things that you've forgiven them, what steps did you take to do that? You can't just say, I've forgiven them, so I don't. No. There should be some works behind it. Forgiveness actually produces works. Love produces works. See? Consideration produces works. So it says, be ye doers of those works, those words, and not hearers only, deceiving your own self. Sometimes we talk just to make ourselves feel good. Yeah, I'm getting things together, and it's just like, okay, what steps are you making? What are you consciously doing? And repetition is the father of all learning and transformation. See, what are we consistently doing to transform the current state of things? Verse 24, for he beholdeth himself. Check it out, verse 23. For if any man is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is likened unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. See, would you choose you? For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. Most of us, brothers and sisters, all right? He that has an ear, most of us are in this state. Most of us are forgetting who we are when we look in the mirror. See? For if any man is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is likened unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. For he beholding himself and goeth his way, straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. So what does this look like? The transformation and the wisdom in this is a reputation that's seen as all over the place. When a vessel doesn't know if they're coming or going, when they don't have any consistency in their life. This is one who goes into the mirror and forgets who and whose they are. And these are the cycles, brothers and sisters, that we must start to break this day. Right? We're not looking about who came before you. The message and the wisdom is coming to us. It's you. If not you, then who? See? When it's time to break the strongholds over the family, when it's time to break the strongholds in our own lives, no one else is going to be able to do. That's why the scripture says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. See? You can't be amongst this body and be forgetting who you are. I can guarantee this. To be amongst us, you would have to forget and literally become another person. Because to stay around this body, you're going to come back to remembrance. This is a fact. See? We ain't them brothers or them sisters. This ain't no play over here. That's why it may appear in one moment that it's kind of hard, but it's hard in love. It's hard in growth because we are demanding the better version out of yourself. See? You can't be a part of this body and not come into the greater version of who you are. That's all we have for you over here. The greater you. See? Coming into the version of who the Most High created you to be. That's all we got. If you looking for something else, if you looking for partiality, you're going to have to go find some other brothers and sisters because this ain't it. See? But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, see, when you continue therein with this, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed indeed. That's why we say you could tell a tree by the fruit that it bears. See? Prove it. Prove what it is that the Most High is allowing you to hear in this hour. Prove it. If it comes to be error, then surely you have your understanding. But we gonna wait for it. Because what you're hearing is not the words of man. These words are, thus says the head of all existence. These words that you are hearing in this hour are sure words. These are not words that a man is guessing. Because we are not able to speak on our own understanding. Whenever you hear any of the elders speak, we're not able to speak according to how we feel and what we think. That's why a part of this body, we don't even use words like that. Well, I think this, it don't matter what you think. See, the only thought is, how does the Father see this? What is the wisdom in that? See, the mere fact we trying to think that's why things are going wrong. Because you know we haven't yet found out there's only really one thing to think about. See, when we think and sit as the scripture says, right? When we think and look perfectly into the law of liberation, the law of liberty, most of all, the one thing that we are all struggling in is bondage. We're free. We're not free from certain thoughts in our minds. We're not free from, the version of ourselves that we see in the mirror. Because most of us are living in that shadow, brothers and sisters. Most of us are choosing the shadow instead of the glorified version of ourselves. See? Because we claiming this and we're claiming that. And the thing that's really needed to be claimed is something that doesn't even need to be spoken about. See, when you claim the Most High, guess what? Your works, your actions is shown on the behalf of you. You don't have to bring a resume when you claim that. You are the resume. Your presence, your light when it shines. See? That's the resume. You should be a blessing no matter where you go. See? Right? Let's finish this off here. It says, if any man among you seems to be religious and bridle not his tongue, but deceiving his own heart, this man's religion is vain. And this is deep because most people be out here, well, I'm this, I'm a Christian, I'm a Baptist, I'm a I'm a Muslim, I'm this and I'm that, I'm Hebrew. See? I'm the chosen seed. And why and why some of this one may say can be considered as true because of bloodline and because of things like that. Truth is in reputation. Truth is in how you live, brothers and sisters. All of that doesn't matter if your reflection of your walk is not adding up to what it is that you are claiming. Because all of it should be one in understanding. Whatever you are claiming, it should be able to go all the way back up to heaven, and that reflection is that too. This is why when you follow that pathway up into heaven, you'll start to see certain doors get closed. Is the Most High a Christian? Is the Most High a Baptist, a Catholic, a Muslim? Is the Most High a Hebrew? I'll wait for it. See, we are not yet grown to being children of existence. See, we become all things to gain a few. This is who the Father has chosen from the beginning. Those that are able to hold the capacity of the law and also to love others through their lack thereof. Having a level of love, having a level of wisdom, to having what you would call patience towards those that are out the way, to having patience towards those that are ignorant when it comes to purpose of why they even exist. Most people don't know why they exist. So we have to have patience in their ignorance. But once truth comes, ye shall know it, and it shall set you free. Woe unto them that turn a blind eye to the truth, to choose bondage. See? Pure religion, verse 27, pure religion and undefiled before the head of all existence. The Father is this. Pay attention here, brothers and sisters. When people talk about religion, this is the wisdom of religion. Pure religion and undefiled. See, anything outside of this is what you would call defiled religion. So everything that I just mentioned before this point, that's defiled. Being a Catholic is defiled. Because if you ain't in that group, then it's like, oh, I got to turn an eye. You know how many wars were waged over so-called titles? They were called holy wars, jihads. All right? Pure religion, undefiled. Pay attention and lock in, brothers and sisters. We don't deal with titles. We deal with reputation. Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High. See, well, I'm not worrying about what this group is doing, what this collective is doing. I don't care how many churches this institution has built. If we not building a true church, which is the church of Christ, building on that chief cornerstone. See, once again, when you hear the church of Christ, do you actually hear a group? You should be hearing reputation. Write it down, brothers and sisters. The church of Christ is a reputation. People should be able to be gathered to you and be able to follow you towards the Father. That's the church of Christ. The church of Christ is that when people see you, they shall see the Most High. And if we're not in that reputation, we need to break free from everything that's keeping us in bondage to not be in that reputation. He that has an ear, let him hear. Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High. This is the only thing we worry about when it comes to religion, is to visit the fatherless. See, the Father talking about works and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself what? Unspotted from the world. So this is living this is when you look in yourself in the mirror, do you see yourself as one that's unspotted from the world? That's one that's walking a pathway that's a pathway of separation? Because the Father, when we start to obey him, he will it causes an energy of separation. And chiefly because, not that you just want to go away from brothers and sisters, but it's because most people are not obeying the head of all existence. So it appears that, you're going away from family, but no, you're going away from disobedience. That's all. Most people are not being obedient to the will of the Father. So when we start to operate in obedience, the Father talk about dietary law. We think I can just eat what I want to eat. Well, most people taking that mindset of just eating whatever they want to eat. So it appeared that since you don't eat what they eat, you separating yourself. And it's like, no, it's just obedience versus lack thereof. And it's not that we all can't walk together, but the things we do well, it's in our best interest to learn from each other. See? But am I too stubborn to look at my brother or my sister and say, you know what, you and that to only a fool would not consider that. See? What is our works, brothers and sisters? Our works is our religion. Our way of life, the way we live, is our religion. See? Would you choose you? See? Would you choose your religion? Look in the mirror. All of us. This is the challenge, brothers and sisters. Look at yourself in the mirror. And guess what? There's no right or wrong in looking at the mirror. Blessed is he that can look in the mirror and pull out and see the wrong, see the evil, and then do the opposite. Surely that man, that woman is walking in the light of perfection. Knowing evil. Say, don't be afraid of that monster. The monster. And at the same time, walk in the spirit of David. See? Taking down the giants. Becoming a demon slayer, becoming a dragon slayer. See? That's the vessel who in this time we need to stay close to, because these are they that's coming in the level of wisdom, of darkness, that most of us probably never see a face unless the Father subjects you to it. Would you choose you? Judge within yourself. All right? All right, get for me if you can. All right, get for me. Um, we're gonna go through 1 Corinthians. Let's go to Paul. See? Because now we have to get instructions, brothers and sisters, when it comes to in regards to, okay, now that I can identify it in myself and I can acknowledge who I am, right? We now need to write down, okay, what it is that we see, but also we now need to gain the wisdom of how to counteract those negative vices that we see, all right? And this is how you do it, brothers and sisters. Okay? This is how you do it. All right? So you can't do this without first, or you forgive me, you can't give this without first giving it to yourself. See, it's like being on the airplane. You got to put your mask on first before you can help somebody else. Make sure the so-called oxygen, right, which that is oxygen, but you want to make sure that so that there is a state of isolation or separation that many of us have to go through just to revamp ourselves. There's a falling away that many of us have to go through in order to transform and come into a greater version. You see? Because the key that we are missing, when you look in the mirror, do you love yourself? This is a question I want every brother or sister to sit with in this hour. When you look in the mirror, can you honestly say, I love me? And now we have to recalibrate ourselves. If we can't answer that statement that question confidently, we now must, go down to the root of what has happened. And chiefly, a lot of us have what you would call childhood traumas. See, childhood demons. That's what traumas are. Some of this, watch this. This is a liberation lesson here. Some of you brothers and sisters, stop blaming. We the elders to say, stop blaming yourself. Majority of what you've endured or what you've inherited from childhood, it came as one calls what? And you inherited it. You didn't ask for it, right? But what you are called to do is to understand it. That's why you went through it, but also be the one that overcame it. See? Most brothers and sisters that have what you would call childhood traumas or childhood demons, because that's all traumas are, demons that keep you reminded of error that happened to you in your life. You're also the one, when you hear that good word and that good word enters into your heart and in your mind, the one to transform it and transmute it into light. Taking something dark, but gaining the wisdom of it, right? And transforming it into life and now into light. And now you are a blessing to other brothers and sisters that's going through similar scenarios. All right. Get for me 1 Corinthians 13. All right. We're gonna get some breakdown going on. We're gonna start at the first verse, okay? This right here. This is 1 Corinthians. We're gonna break this thing down here. This is 1 Corinthians 13, starting at verse 1. It says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, right? And have not charity, which is love, I am become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal, just making noise and just crashing. And though I have the gift of prophecy, right? And understand, meaning that you can still be stubborn against the Father and still have gifts, brothers and sisters. But those gifts will become vain, or those gifts will be Father is not getting glory. We are becoming stumbling blocks to brothers and sisters. Are you following me? When the gift becomes a stumbling block, brothers and sisters, all right, that's because we're not understanding love. Sometimes, guess what? Saying nothing is the answer. See? Pure love allows a person, it gives them space to go through, you know, their precepts that they need to go through in order to make the change that's needed. Okay? It says that, and though I have a gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and knowledge, and though I have all faith, which is trust, so that I remove mountains and have not love, I'm nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not love, which is charity, it profited me nothing. Love, charity, suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, and is not puffed up. See? Do not behave itself unseemly, seeking not her own, is not easily provoked. This is letting you know that when we operate, check it out, when we operate in love, we should be operating in what you would call a feminine state. It's a state of softness. See? But if I'm walking around always hard, always, a lot of times people talk about my face, and I'm like, yo, take that up with the Father. But, you know, sometimes the looks on my face is what the Father has made, a certain image to be. I look at myself, I'm like, man, what is that? And the Lord just like, nah, that's, I made you into a duality, and many of us have that spirit of duality. But when we open up our mouths, it should be a fountain of wisdom within love. When we not what breaking down, leaving one stranded. If we gonna break down, you should also have the tools to build up in love. See, charity, love, suffered long, and charity envy it not. Charity vaunted not itself, and is not puffed up. Do not behave itself unseemly, seeking not her own, is not easily provoked, think it no evil, rejoice it not in iniquity. So when you talk about thinking no evil, it's not like, let me see how I'm about to get you. See, let me see how I'm about to, get on top of this situation. It's like, no, the Father's on top. See, vengeance is mine, says the head of all existence. See, it thinketh no evil, rejoicing not in iniquity, but rejoicing in truth. When I know the right thing to do and I hear it, I adjust. Because that's what safety is. That's what you would call a peace of mind is. That's what freedom is. See, the truth, when you know it, it sets you free. Most of us are living in bondage because we're living in lies. See, most of us are living in confusion is because what? Our stubbornness against the Most High is allowing us to defend our pride and our. So when things are thrown at us, we're not able to take them because, hey, if I take this, this image or this mask that I'm wearing is going to start to break off. And then people are going to be able to see me for who I truly am. Brothers and sisters, this is why the scripture says we must become like newborn babies. See, the way we came into this world naked, this is why anyone that cannot allow their mask or their shadow self to fall off, see, these are they who have already made a choice. See? Who are already make a choice and walking a pathway of a sealed consequence of death. Let the mask fall, brothers and sisters. If they talk about you, hey, they talked about Christ. They talked about our Lord and Savior. See? But when we let this mask fall, we become as like Christ said. Unless we become as little children, see, the mask isn't there as a child. We will not enter into the kingdom of what? Heaven. And where is that? It's within. Most of us can't come to terms of who we are, of the heaven within us, no, trying to get in there. It's like, yo, this is not a masquerade ball. Most of us trying to get into heaven You know, yo, Most High is like, I still see you. My eyes are everywhere. See? Yeah, you may be trying to put on a front for them, but the Lord is like, I see you. Yeah. So this is what's going on. People are treating heaven like it's a masquerade ball. I could put a mask on. See? The Father's like, listen, you can't deal with me in no mask. And you're not gonna be able to deal with none of the children that I sent towards to help you with a mask on. That mask is gonna have to fall. And we're all going to have to live in truth because that's what's going to set us free. It says in verse 7, it beareth all things. It believeth, it hopeth all things. It endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. It's only so much that you can talk when you ain't living in truth. And we are not living in truth. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. See, a lot of brothers and sisters are walking around telling partial stories. See, and we are all guilty of that, brothers and sisters, right? So we're not mentioning this. Your elders, you're not hearing your elders mention this and not understanding that the partiality is something that we all must recognize within ourselves. See? But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When the fullness of the truth comes, the partial shall be done away with. My earthly father used to always say, hey, this may not be the hour for you to understand this, but just live a little longer. That's the prayer. The prayer and the hope is that, hey, if it's what you're hearing in this hour from the elders or not, you're not really gaining it, hey, just live a little longer. It's going to make sense in time. Because these are all the things we should be checking off. It's like, yo, I wouldn't choose me because I don't love myself. Boom. Okay. That's not nothing for you to hate. Because whenever we don't choose to do that which is right, we don't love ourselves. Whenever we choose to hurt others, we don't love ourselves, and we all are guilty of it. Are you tracking me? He that has an ear, let him hear. That way we all can sit in this together and start to come to the wisdom that's needed to undo it together. We're not living in a time of separation amongst each other. We are all reflecting in mirrors of each other. See, that's nothing separate when it comes to man, the Father's creation and within man. We become separate when we choose to obey his will. That's what sets us apart. And it only sets us apart to be what you would call the measuring stick needed to know what is good and what is evil, what is right and what is wrong. But when that which is perfect is come, then which is part shall be done away. When I was a child, there you go. Many people think that they grown. What is that? How do you get to that state? What is the wisdom in when saying that you're grown? What's the wisdom and the foundation that grownness is built upon? What makes you grown? Hmm? Can say, what wisdom are you using that say, well, this is when you become grown? Because the Father has always spoke to the children. All right. So it says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away the childish things. See, a lot of times we're not understanding that the child becomes greater in his child, in her child, and becomes man and woman. You never leave away from that child state. but you grow into manhood. You grow into womanhood. Can we honestly look in the mirror and say, I'm a man or I'm a woman? Do you have love? Do you love yourself? When people see you, do you reflect what it means to love? See? But when I became a man, I put away the childish things. For now, we see through a glass darkly. Most people are living in shadows. Most people are living in what you would call the false self. But then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as I also I am known. See? See, when we living in the shadow, we not understanding that, hold on. When the light starts to enter, it's like, yo, I'm getting mad at this brother. I'm getting mad at this sister. It's like, yo, this vessel is me too. We didn't always know what we knew. Is a lot of us are trying to leave away from the version of ourselves that actually grew us to a greater understanding. You cannot forget that. You have to understand that, oh, I didn't always know what I know. See? But when you come into this state of being fully known, right, or fully understood, what you'll start to see is that, oh, okay, even this negative version is me, negative away from the Father. I've made decisions away from the head of all existence. For that reason, we die daily. Every day, we must make conscious choices to not do that. Whatever that is in regards to being in opposition to the will of the Most High. See? For now, we see through a glass darkly. But then when we start to grow and we come into this greater understanding through breathing, we start to see something face to face. We used to see it in part. Like I knew I connected, but I didn't really know how I connected. But now I understand something that's face to face, like, oh, this is me. See? And even if I don't like this version of me, it's just the me that you would call either low vibration or the negative frequency of me. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. And now abided faith, hope, and love. Everything, faith is trust, right? You got to trust that everything that's happening is happening how it's supposed to happen. Got to trust it, brothers and sisters. Got to trust that everything that the Father is doing, it's happening how it's supposed to happen. Okay? And now abided faith or trust, hope, right? These three, but the greatest of these is love. Because this is the foundation that we were created off of. We were created off the foundation. The Lord said, let us, because the Most High loves himself, he said, let me create me. See? How can you, not, the mere fact we even say statements like I don't love myself, that should be impossible. It should, when we're connected to source. If we can make a statement to say I don't love myself, it's just directing us back to the source that we were created from. Because he loves himself to have created you. And if you're not loved, or if you're not capable of loving yourself, There's a beautiful reason of why you still existing. I'm like, yo, let's discover that reason. Let's discover why you still exist. Like that's beautiful. Like that's right. And be like, why can I get right? And it's just like, no, why you still breathing? It's like you gotta be super dope. You gotta be like really somebody that people really not knowing who you are, that you still existing. Yeah, and I'm a vessel that's like, yo, I need to see all of that in you, brother, in you, sister. I like come into that glory. That's what you would call real. There was, one would say real gangster. That like coming to that. That's gangster. That's fire there. That brothers and sisters is walking around with testimonies that is like, yo, most people don't even, you know, that this world has no problem in placing us in because we trying to come up, we trying to gain. Come on. Can't be around us and talking about you don't love yourself. It's not happening. It's not happening. You were created from love. You are it, whether you could see it or not. See? So now we gotta say, what energy, what spirit is lying to you? See? This is why we gotta pray away these lying spirits, man. We gotta pray away a lying tongue. You gotta pray all that away because all that does is perpetuate the traumas, the demons. See? We gotta start doing the hard work, brothers and sisters. And it only appears to be hard. When we start to do hard work only appears to be hard, brothers and sisters, because most of us don't want to start to break them things down, one at a time. And you got to be thankful. Let me say this, brothers and sisters. If you got brothers and sisters that are around you in this hour, that's still there and you understand the foolishness that brothers and sisters, man, it's in your best interest to utilize those vessels. It's in our best interest to utilize those vessels to overcome adversities. Because some of the Father has placed vessels in our lives to help us with the hard work. There's burdens that brothers and sisters are carrying, even in relationships, for other brothers and sisters. To come into the transformation, but it's the grace and the beauty that love that the Father gives between friendships, between man and woman, that allows us to say, listen, I know you've been carrying this heavy load. I got enough capacity in me to carry it for you until you come into strength. But the one thing that we can do, or we cannot do rather, is come into this strength and think that I'm the all to be all, that I'm the prize. And it's like you're not understanding how the Father did like set this thing up. He set this up, for you, brother, for you, sister, to not carry all this burden, this work, but you still must carry it. I'm just going to give you the grace and the space needed, the time needed to acknowledge me. But most of us, it's like one who looks in the mirror, we start to forget and become ungrateful of what the Father placed in our lives, brothers and sisters, to help us with the transformation. The Father will always send you a deliverance, send you a deliverer, send you help that's needed to help you transform. See? As the scripture says, all right? How what? How water to a face answer the face. You see? So how you can look into that clear water and see and answers like how you look to your face, your heart does the same thing. Because see, the heart is what guides one's reputation. So sooner or later, whether we say it or not, one's heart is going to, give the testimony of who and whose we are. See? Would you choose you? And the prayer and the hope is, after the work has been done, we all can stand confident and say, I would choose this vessel. Because most of us would not be who we are had we not gone through what we've gone through or maybe going through. See? Let's get something out the apocrypha here. Go get for me the 1611 version, sister. And can you please pull up for me Ecclesiasticus 34 or Sirach? We're gonna go into the Holy Bible, into the Apocrypha. All right. The middle of the book, the bridge, right? The bridge books. That's what we'll call it, right? This is how the Old Testament and the New Testament is connected, right? This is the books that were taken out of the Holy Scriptures. And we're gonna go into the Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. These are wisdom books, all right? And it gives us a greater or a more extensive depth of understanding, if you want to say, all right? Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 34. And let's see here. And let's start at verse 1. We'll start at verse 1. Okay. Ecclesiastes 34. And we'll start at verse 1. All right. And it says that what? It says, read it from here. It says, the hopes, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 34, starting at the first verse. The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. This is why we say, so when we talk about these hopes, that we have, right? These desires that we have, that we stand on, right? Most of us are stubbornly doing these things, be it good or bad. Is what we are doing based on understanding, or check it out? Let's go straight to it. Or is it based on a spirit that one would say of survival mode? All right, one moment here. What's going on? All right, is it based off of what you will say understanding? Okay, these hopes, these dreams, or is it based off of survival mode? The hopes of a man, void of understanding, are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. Whoso regarded dreams, all right, is like him that catches a shadow. This is why you have to pay attention to certain visions that you are having. Well, if I had a better life, it'll be like this. And it's like, yo, the Lord is like, most of us have had some of the best lives that we have ever had. See? But we're allowing dreams, we're allowing visions, we're allowing shadows to be our guides. See? We're allowing other brothers and sisters to speak to us, to actually not give us the understanding needed to grow, but adding to our vice. See, this is why I don't want any advice. Father, if it be in thy will, may you give me only wisdom and understanding in what it is that I'm going through. This is what you pray for. You don't pray for somebody to come give you advice. You pray for wisdom and understanding. See? Because some people, you getting advice. Some people are adding to your vice. See? The blind leading the blind, so everybody falling into a pit. Whoso regarded dreams is like him that catcheth a shadow and follow it after the wind. The vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to face. So since now that we are projecting these things, well, guess what? Well, Hashatan is like, okay, see, especially if you're not doing it according to understanding, you doing it according to vanity. Boy, Hashatan cracking his knuckles. Satan, them demons cracking their knuckles and like, okay, hey, all I got to do is put a face to it. These desires, is what I have already, right? And all I'm waiting for is a face to come with this desire. That's the deception, brothers and sisters. I heard a sister say, and I say, "Ooh, I gotta." I heard a sister say this, and I say, you know what? That's a nice little phrase. The sister said that the Lulu isn't the Salulu. I said, yeah, you're right. Okay? The Lulu isn't the Salulu. See what I'm saying? People, brothers and sisters, are living in these delusions, thinking that that's the solution. See? And what you're gonna find out is the thing that we looking at, I ain't gotta listen to that, I ain't gotta worry about it, is the door, the revolving door in man's life. Whether you choose it or not, you gotta see the Most High. You gotta come back to source. In life or death, the end result. This is why when we broke down what happens after death, those that have scorned the law, those that have gone against the Most High, and those that have accepted and walked with the Father, they all see that great light after death. The wicked and the righteous see that bright light that they show in movies. This is a true vision that happens in death. That great light comes. See? And it says that what? The scriptures say that those that have scorned the law, when they see that light and the beauty of it, they now understand that they can't make a good repentance, but also, how did I ever go against this? They start the process of that confused state. See, that's what happens before judgment, because everyone will be judged at one time, but before judgment, the wicked are in a state of unrest or waking, whereas the righteous are in a peaceful sleep, guarded by angels. You see? But the wicked are they are awake in a constant mental unrest, sorrow, grief, pain that they can't wake up from. So this is why we have to be careful of these dreams, because this is the reputation that comes after death for those that see that. For those that see death and having, one hasn't adjusted their life. Well, them dreams actually is what's replayed over and over in the spirit realm. In the versions or the vessels of ourselves that come alive when we are asleep. So that version of us that are, observing the dream when we sleeping, and you're walking around and all that, that's who comes alive after death. That person that's walking around in your dreams, that's the version of you that comes alive. That's a real energy. That's not fake. Okay? That's why a lot of times you start to see supernatural. You might have people like, I was walking on the, I stepped off the ledge and I wound up walking in the wind. It's like, how? See? That's why you got to pray constantly that, Father, whatever's of you, may I retain, and whatever's not, may I understand it, but still separate and cast it out. It says, Whoso regarded the dream is like him that catcheth a shadow and followed after the winds. The visions of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to face. Of the unclean thing, who can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what truth can come? These are questions, brothers and sisters. So most of us, we have these desires or we have these dreams, right? But we don't never consider, is this vision true? Is it honest? And you can only understand this by living in a space of transparency. Most people are still trying to, I don't want nobody, man, listen to me. Matter of fact, the more transparent you are, the more opportunity you give people to kind of manifest who they really are. Transparency is key. Being truthful in your identity of who you are. That don't make you weak. That allows you to stand in strength and power to know that all things work for you. If you wanna mess over me, you wanna, betray me, hey, that's a character issue in you. You want to steal from me, you see, that's a character issue in that brother, in that sister. We can't worry about those things, brothers and sisters. We live in authenticity. Well, if somebody, lies to me, that don't make me, I'm not, that person was only in your life to show you that the mirror was one. It wasn't the measure stick that was needed to show you what the lie and the truth was. See? So it says, divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart fancied as a woman heart in travail. See? Seeking the understanding from sources that's not sent from the Father. If they be not sent, check it out. See? If they be in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them. So how this works is, check it out. You will have a vision or a dream, but you still will be operating in honesty and authenticity. When something is not sent by the Most High, you will have to do work to actually bring it to you. You will have to start setting up things that you dreamed about for it to come. When the Most High shows you in a dream or vision, ain't nothing that you need to even do. He gonna yoke that situation up and it's gonna come to you. It ain't nothing that you gotta even put your hand on. But most of us are not operating as, remember we read it right in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, about love. Love is patient. See? Bear it all things. Love suffer it long. Most people are not willing to go through the suffering process to learn what it is that the Father is trying to show us, to actually get the reward. If the Father sent you a vision to show you, but not really, you couldn't really see it clear of how you were going to obtain it, that's because the Father wants you to be patient. See? So that you can, and you become grateful in the reward. We already possess all things, brothers and sisters. We should not be working hard for anything. Whatever the Father brings us that may be uncomfortable is only to transform us into a greater version of ourselves through wisdom. Knowing pain and knowing what? Healing at the same time. Knowing chaos and knowing peace. That's perfection, brothers and sisters. The Father is bringing certain hardships to us to make us perfect. A lot of us will not choose these hardships. So the Father has to allow us to get some wisdom, allow us to get some, some knowledge, right? And understanding of it so that when we speak, we can speak with authority. Everybody who the Father calls, he deputizes you. See? You can't just go around here talking about I'm this and I'm that. And it's like, what have you going through, brother? What have you going through, sister? See? If they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not your heart upon it. Get thee behind me, Satan. Father ain't tell you to come here and do that. Father ain't tell you to help me be part of, hurt and being dishonorable to a brother or a sister. Father ain't tell you to do that. But he allowed it so that we can start to self-examine ourselves, look in that mirror, right? And start to understand the hard work that is needed. See? We're in an hour, brothers and sisters, that we need to start to do this hard work, brothers and sisters, because guess what? Who we are is who the Father is going to allow for us to lean on in our time of need. So if we are brothers and sisters that's walking in unfaithfulness, we are brothers and sisters that are walking in lack of integrity. Well, in our time of need, those are the vessels that the Father is going to manifest around us. When chaos happens, because chaos shall happen, he that has an ear, let him hear. The people that you're going to be clinging to is people with no integrity. And this is where the scriptures come in, that they're going to come and say, give us your oil, right? People who you thought you can trust going to say, give me your oil. I'm taking it from you. The scriptures tell you that the Lord eyes on all of us that love him. See? For dreams have deceived many brothers and sisters, and they have failed that put their trust in him. The law should be found perfect without lies. If brothers and sisters are still, if we are still around here lying, see, brothers and sisters, we need to literally like sit down for a moment. Because if I gotta constantly lie or lie about what I'm doing, and you're not living an honest life. The law shall be found perfect without lies, and wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. See? Wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. Are we willing to change, brothers and sisters? Are we willing to evolve into this greater version of ourselves? Or every time we look in that mirror and we are not operating in authenticity and we're not operating in transparency, are we going to continue to live and believe the lie? Every man judge within himself. As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord in fear and in trembling. We're going to get through this thing together, brothers and sisters. You shall choose you, willingly or unwillingly. That's the mystery in this. The mystery is whether you choose you or not want to choose you. You are the choice. Repent, be baptized. Sin no more, brothers and sisters. You are a beautiful choice. You are love. You are peace. You are joy. You are everything that it appears that you cannot be. You are perfect, knowing evil, but choosing the good. See? You everything. Don't matter that you done messed up. How can you know what's right if you have not yet failed and got it wrong? You need both, brothers and sisters. To go in your mind and be like, "Dad, I've done these bad things. I've done this." It's like, okay, now that you've acknowledged what's bad, you're perfect in it and stay in good. Stay in the opposite. Cling to brothers and sisters, right? This, you got to barricade yourself. You get around brothers and sisters that operate in that frequency. So sometimes you may have to leave what you would call safety and go to supporting. See, most people are looking for safety, and the Lord doesn't. The Lord is your safety. What He's going to give you in brothers and sisters is a support system. So I challenge every brothers and sisters: don't look for a safe place. Look for a supported place. Over here, we are who you are. We are who you are, and we are who we are. We are your support because our strength comes from the head of all existence, and we are children of existence. We love you. We're going to continue to take it there. You ain't as off as you think. You right where you need to be. The mere fact you hearing the elders in this hour, there's opportunity to change. You're not as off as you think. But we all are challenged to what? Repent, be baptized, sin no more. We're going to get through this thing together, brothers and sisters. Shabbat shalom, right? We're going to open up the doors to this lesson, okay? And please ask your question. Don't ever feel like there's a improper question or you may be asking this for someone else. All right? Go ahead and ask your question. And but if there is not any, let's go ahead and give a thumbs up if we're learning. All right? If we learning, let's go ahead and get that thumbs up. Let me make sure we can take everybody off of one moment here. Right? Be able to come off that mic and hey, we learning. All right. We're gonna get through this thing together. Love you all. And hey, let's continue to do the mirror work. Will you choose you? Judge within thyself. Either way, a choice will be made, willingly or unwillingly, brothers and sisters. Let's be confident in this hour. Let's be intentional. Shabbat shalom.